originally sounded. So on October 2nd, a year ago today, which is why we're making this video and just sharing, I was sharing with a friend and I heard the word salt therapy come off my lips. I'd never heard about salt therapy other than, our saline solutions, our neti pots, or nebulizer treatments. This felt like I needed to research it more than that, because it wasn't just that. That was one component in a way that we can get salt therapy, but that wasn't the one that was starting to stir something on the inside. So I grabbed my laptop and I started researching salt therapy, and it was there that I discovered from Salt Chamber this halo generator that aerosoled pharmaceutical grade sodium chloride, pure sodium chloride, into the air quality for us to inhale and actually start penetrating the lower lobes of our respiratory and our lungs. That seemed to make a lot of sense to me, that that this was something that I not only wanted to experience for myself, but I had an inkling of knowing that this might be something that I was going to build and create for my community here. I knew something was changing in my career. I knew that I was coming out of healthcare system again and then going into, I just didn't know what it was going to look like. And a friend of mine and client gifted me this planner back on September 10th of 2020. And while it looks nice, and when I opened it, it says, "Make great things happen." So when I read this and I touched this, it didn't produce like joy and excitement at first in September. And the reason for it is because I noticed like little synchronicities. I noticed the little things that kind of start letting me know to start being more aware and tuning in. And so when this client gifted me this, unbeknownst to her, I had just reupholstered my massage therapy table in the same exact fabric, same color, that iridescent pearl. I always like things that reflect or give off light, because I think in our world when everything else is going on, we all have the opportunity to express kindness and be there and support someone. And it's sometimes just offering our smile to someone else in need. So for me, reflections of light just remind me to be a light in this world too. And so while it was nice to get something shiny, and it was nice to see that, I also had a little hesitation receiving it, thinking something is getting ready to change with my massage practice. At that time, I was working in the healthcare system, and I knew that the foundation was changing for me. I just didn't know how. So October 2nd of 2020, when I unraveled halotherapy for the very first time ever, I knew it was time to dig that gift that had been given to me, that I kindly put back in its packaging and tucked away in my home. That was on September 10th. On October 2nd, I pulled that out because immediately, as I was on Google and searching things, I knew this was it. I felt that sensation on the inside starting to percolate, and I was like, okay, we've unraveled something here. And so again, we're doing more of the videos to educate people in halotherapy, but I just want to give the how did we become a place of providing services for our community. So October 2nd, all the notes went in, and we opened our doors on December 1st, 59 days later. Now, I don't encourage everyone to go open business in 59 days, But what I do want to encourage people is sometimes we get that innate knowing on the inside and we're being guided to do something. And sometimes it seems overwhelming and scary, and there's so much unseen and unknown that we tend to kind of set back and go, oh, let somebody else do that. Sometimes you are the somebody else. But for me, it's always been bigger than me. It was, knowing that, yes, I would use these services first and foremost. And I have utilized the benefits of Halotherapy now, since my first session of it in a town called Lincolnton at Halo Spa with the owner, Christina Stone. So she actually was the one that showed me her equipment. It was the same one from Salt Chamber, just for a smaller space. And so it was her just kind of like throwing me in it, showing me, giving me a test run that really let me see, okay, we can do this. This isn't just like, this is possible. And so October 2nd was really the seed that got planted and what made me leave the healthcare system, because I knew I was bringing something that could potentially treat the after effects of something such as COVID, something as the flu, something as COPD, as bronchitis. It's an immune booster for anyone, but it's also used for skin conditions from a dermatology standpoint. It's used for depression, anxiety. So there's just all these things that come about in our day-to-day stressors. And so I just kind of started looking at, this is something that we can do. And it was pretty affordable once you do the build out, it was pretty affordable to keep these services inexpensive for the average person to be able to come in. It was less than most people's copay to visit a physician. Not that I discourage that. I want people to go and get consults with their physicians and their healthcare community, and also sharing this information of these services with their healthcare providers. So one of the things that we're noticing big time is we're all being masked in our communities, that we're retaining moisture. And so anytime we have inflammation or mucus buildup, anything in the respiratory area, sometimes these masks are kind of creating that damp space, and that's a perfect space for infection, bacteria, viruses, and inflammation to grow and get worse. So for me, the nebulizing using a wet saline solution wasn't the way I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted something that was going to actually dry and absorb and help me expel whatever was in my lower lungs. Because remember, I had a past experience that gave me a little bit of anxiety for myself, wondering what was going to happen should I face experiencing COVID-19 for myself. So that is our why and a little bit of our how, but I want to also just take a moment and acknowledge a few people who helped behind the scenes with making sure, number one, that we had, as the world went viral, we had to have a website, we had to have social media. And so I had a dear friend from Florida who helped me with my nonprofit back there. And I always promised him, because he donated his services, I always promised him, his name is Chris Waltine, that should I ever start another business, that I would donate, I would make certain that he got those businesses that could be payable back to him for what he had done for me in the past and for the community I served back home in Florida. So Chris Waltine with Legendary Designs actually created our website and helped make a lot of things interface with our social media as well as with our online system that we use for booking appointments, making sure those calendars and those little widgets, for those of you in the IT world, interfaced and interlinked. So he was very quick to help start getting this in place as well. Like I said, 59 days was a little bit of a stretch trying to get a lot of this stuff so that we could have it open and ready for the community. So he was one of them. I had substantial amount of support from friends and family that were encouraging, just trust this, go with it, trust how you're being led. But truly, we can open a door and we can create a sacred space. But it really isn't without you, our clients, and those that have yet to experience the services of halotherapy and massage therapy here. But we really wouldn't be able to do this in approaching our year anniversary as we opened December 1st of 2020 amidst a global pandemic. And we have been able to keep our doors open, and we have far exceeded any expectation. And I know that we're continuing to grow. More services are starting to be incorporated within Radiant Wellbeing from other providers. So stay tuned for that. So anyways, that was our little happy announcement for October 2nd, a year ago, giving a little behind the scenes and, just kind of sharing. And we're start showing you more of our space. We're also going to upload on our YouTube channel the ribbon cutting ceremony that the Boone Community Chamber actually came and did a video of our ribbon cutting, because we had to do a virtual ribbon cutting ceremony for the simple fact that COVID was very prevalent in our community. And I just want to say thank you again to them for putting that there. It's been a huge piece that we've actually been able to share with people. They have been able to see the inside of Radiant Wellbeing, be acquainted, kind of get familiar with the area, with the services. And so I just thank them for making that video. It's a 16, 17-minute video. And it really does show you the behind the scenes that came after the seed was planted on October 2nd. So thank you for tuning in and joining us. And be sure to follow and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our Facebook, our Instagram, and just sharing it with those that may have some lingering effects, whether it be COVID related, anything that has a respiratory condition or a skin condition. We are encouraging it, but we also encourage it from a mental health aspect too. So any of the information that we put out there, please feel free to share. And also look at the Salt Therapy Association's website. I encourage everyone to see if there is a halotherapist in your community. And you never know, because some people, it's something new. Not a lot of people have heard about it yet. It's old therapy, but being reintroduced in an environmental made with these halo generators. So you might have one just around the corner from your own home, and I just can't speak enough about that. But I just wanted to do a little quick behind the scenes and give you a little tidbit on what started stirring all of the stuff, which is now our place of sacred healing and just sacred space for you to come just as you are, and come and relax, receive, rejuvenate, and restore from the inside out. Blessings, blessings, blessings. And until next time, be well.